What's up, YouTube? It's your boy G Money and my brother's keeper. Yes, I am. And this is another episode of Sidewalk Talk. One of my past videos where I was saying be safe going over to a female's house. Someone came in my comments and said if you need to take a gun over to a female's house, then you dealing with the wrong type of female. And that's completely wrong. That's a completely wrong idea and way of thinking about shit. Because it's not that if you need to take the gun to go see her. It's taking the gun just in case the unexpected happens. Just in case anything. You don't know what can happen. It might not even have anything to do with the female that you're going to go see. It could happen. It could be you getting into it with somebody in the neighborhood over a parking spot when you just was pulling up to go see her. It could be you coming out the house and somebody confusing you for somebody else and an altercation break out over something that has nothing to do with you, but you need to have something on you for protection. It can be anything, yo. We have to stop thinking like just because of the neighborhood you live in, you got this false belief that you are safe everywhere you go. I know somewhere out in the suburbs where it's neighborhoods where people leave their doors unlocked. You know, I worked out fire in the suburbs and I used to drive by some houses and their garages would be wide open with all their supplies showing. Like they just felt that comfortable and safe where they were, like that it can't happen to them until it happens to them. You know, you ever watch something happen on the news? You ever watch somebody, somebody even got shot or killed in a so-called peaceful neighborhood, and then when they get to interviewing the neighbors, I would have never thought that could happen in a place like this. I'm in shock. Nobody would have ever thought something like that would happen in a place like this, an area like this. What is this? What is an area like this? Like, like, what is this? What is this belief that it can't happen to you? This is a gun, guns not allowed in this area. Criminals are like, they got like a electric fence or something that stop criminals from coming in that area. Like, what do you mean? You couldn't believe it could happen in a place like this? Why are y'all so comfortable thinking that y'all are so shielded and protected from bad things happening because you stay in a nice neighborhood? Like it's crazy, and I know why they feel that way, because they see on the news, in the city, in the suburban, in the not suburban, in the urban areas, in the city, they see all of the chaos and the bullshit. Is constantly people getting shot, robbed, all type of shit every day. So, and they probably barely hear an ambulance or a fire truck or a police car or a siren or anything, and they probably barely ever hear that. And when they do hear it, the whole neighborhood probably come outside looking to see what's going on, because they so in shock, and it's like, what's going on? Why are the police sirens on? In the city, you hear that so much to the point where don't nobody even look out to see what's going on. This is a regular thing. But don't get this false belief that it can't happen to you, or why, if you need to take a gun over there, then maybe that's the wrong person for you. It's not her fault, not all the time, that you need to take the firearm. It's other reasons that you need to take your firearm with you. You know, like I said, you can get into something on your way to that person's house. It don't necessarily have to be her as the reason, but you know, when but that video was to take a firearm if you are going to see a new person, you know, that you have no clue about, or her history or whatever. Yeah, I suggest you take a firearm, and I suggest you take one with you if she stay in a good neighborhood. Because what the hell do that mean? She might stay in a good neighborhood that don't like black people. Shit, you know, she you might be messing with the other race or something. She stayed in a great clean neighborhood, but they don't like black people. So what you think gonna happen out there? You know, it's like anything. You know, just I don't know. I just didn't agree with that comment that he made. You know, if you need to take a gun to go see a female, you dealing with the wrong person. Like, nah, it's not. That's not necessarily mean you dealing with the wrong person. You're just making sure that you're prepared for anything that might happen. The unthinkable, you know, or you know, just anything. You know, anything can pop off at any time. You know, you think the people here in my city that went grocery shopping that day thought when they was in the grocery store shopping that the white boy was just gonna come out of nowhere and walk up in there with a damn AR and get to shooting everybody? Nobody thought that was gonna happen in the hood. Nobody thought a white boy was just gonna pop up out of nowhere and just get to shooting all of the black people that he saw in the grocery store. So what you gonna say if you gotta take a gun to the grocery store, you shopping at the wrong grocery store? Like, no, you don't. You gotta expect the unexpected. You gotta be prepared for anything. You gotta, you know what I mean? You don't know. Nobody's expecting that shit to happen. It just happens. So be prepared for it when it happens. So, you know, I had to respond a little bit to that comment that he made because I just didn't agree with that at all. You know, stop feeling so comfortable to the fact that you think that can't nothing happen to you because it can happen anywhere. People get desperate and do shit in any situation. And it's starting to not just be in bad neighborhoods where robberies and shit is happening at, because now people are starting to come out into them good neighborhoods because that's where all the money at. You know, why robbing? Why, or they then figure out why are we robbing poor people? Let's go rob the people that actually have some money. You know, out in the suburbs. Now they coming out there teamed up and they trying to steal your cars and all that shit that you got so comfortably, doors unlocked and windows open, and y'all feel like nothing can happen to you out in them neighborhoods. And then you get on the news crying and looking confused when this shit happens. So, you know, so you better get that suburban attitude out of your mind, thinking that just because you live in a nice neighborhood that you're untouchable, because that's going to get you touched. You know, that's what's going to make you a victim because your lack of awareness, you feeling too comfortable, thinking it's not going to happen to you because of where you live or your status. And that's you're going to be real easy to point out and say, hey, follow him, or yeah, wait for him to get out his car or get back in his car, because you got your, you I don't know, you thinking the wrong way, and it's going to be very dangerous for you if you continue to think that way, because anybody can get it right now, especially the way the world is going right now. And they running up in people's houses. Look at what's happening out in L.A. The celebrities is getting their houses broke into. Celebrities, multimillionaires, people running up in their houses and robbing them. So you think because you stay in the suburbs that it's not going to happen to you? Okay. Uh, that's just my response to a comment that I read. Um, Ain't nothing personal. I don't want you to get. I hope you don't have to experience anything like that. But I just want your mindset to change and stop thinking that because you stay in a decent neighborhood that you untouchable, because you're lying to yourself. So this is your boy G Money. This is another episode of Sidewalk Talk. Matter of fact, I forgot to say, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. And this is another episode of Sidewalk Talk. Y'all keep your heads on a swivel no matter where you stay, suburbs or urban, city, whatever. Keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention to your surroundings. And God bless. I'm out.